The National Gang Center is here to help. We are here to help empower communities to build balanced, impactful, and sustainable solutions for youth justice and public safety. We've been doing this work for more than 25 years, and in this experience, we've supported communities across the nation in implementing the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention's comprehensive gang model. This model is an evidence-based framework for the coordination of multiple data-driven gang reduction strategies to address serious, violent, and entrenched youth street gang problems. The comprehensive gang model matches the solution to the problem by balancing prevention, intervention, and suppression programming that reaches beyond enforcement to address the root causes of criminal gang activity within a community. This framework provides a mechanism to pull together disjointed, fragmented approaches into an organized and collaborative plan of action that is intensely focused on reducing gang-involved violence. At the heart of the model are its 5 core strategies. Community mobilization is engaging the community as a partner in designing, implementing, and leading strategies. This collaboration and engagement is key to building public trust and vesting ownership of the model within the community. Opportunities provision is providing education, training, employment, and reentry opportunities designed to engage gang-involved youth and young adults, forming a pathway to gang desistance and success. Social intervention is direct outreach and connection to services for gang-involved youth and their families. Key elements of this strategy include street outreach workers and multidisciplinary intervention teams that leverage a well-organized and broad network of public, private, and community-based service providers. Suppression is community policing with balanced, informal, and formal social controls and accountability measures. Informal controls are aimed at reinforcing community norms and values, while more formal controls provide focused enforcement and monitoring of gang-involved individuals by criminal justice agencies working in collaboration with community-based service providers, schools, and grassroots groups. Organizational change and development is the development and implementation of policies that improve access and provide the most effective uses of resources to address the gang problem. While it is important to implement the core strategies with fidelity, the programming is not prescriptive and can be adapted to meet community needs and capacity. The OJJDP Comprehensive Gang Model was developed in 1987, and it has been implemented in communities large and small across the nation. It is a tested and proven approach for reducing gang-related crime and violence.
The comprehensive gang model is based on the study of risk and protective factors, which are circumstances that influence the likelihood of negative outcomes, such as gang involvement. These risk and protective factors span several domains of youth development, including family, school, peers, individual, and community. There's no single risk factor that can reliably predict gang involvement, though. Rather, it is an accumulation of risk factors in multiple domains that greatly increases the risk of gang joining. For example, the process of gang involvement can begin as early as 3 years of age with conduct problems. If these are not corrected, it can lead to barriers to school success and eventually toward a pathway of delinquency and gang involvement. The comprehensive gang model includes specific strategies designed to provide a balance of prevention, intervention, and suppression measures that meet youth where they are along this continuum to provide specific and targeted responses to eliminate risk factors and add protective factors that reduce the negative consequences of gang involvement. This is the science behind the comprehensive gang model and what makes it so effective at addressing serious and entrenched youth gang problems.
The comprehensive gang model is community-based, designed to build and support collaboration so that we bring the community's resources together to focus directly on the need, which is a defined focus area and population determined by an assessment. In the model, a steering committee is comprised of public, private, and community leaders who can affect policy and create system-level changes. Membership should include leaders from youth service organizations, schools, health and social service agencies, employment services, probation, parole, local government leaders, faith-based organizations, community leaders, and law enforcement. The steering committee oversees the assessment of the local gang problem and, using data from the assessment, develops strategies to combat the problem. This process provides shared responsibility, decision-making, and accountability. The community owns the initiative. The steering committee is supported by a project coordinator who is a professional, full-time staff member responsible for management of the initiative and its components. A research partner and an assessment work group will assist with data collection and analysis in conducting a thorough local problem assessment and ongoing program evaluations. And a lead agency does not assume control of the project, but will provide administrative support and structure. This should be an agency that is credible and respected in the community. This collaborative approach ensures that the work plan comes directly from the community and that the implementation of the strategy directly serves the community.
Street outreach is a fundamental community violence intervention strategy and a vital element of the comprehensive gang model. It connects gang-involved youth to the services needed to change their lives. Outreach workers are referred to as street outreach workers for a reason. This is direct intervention with high-risk youth in the streets, in the schools, in the parks, and anywhere that kids hang out. Street outreach workers are professionals that serve multiple roles. For the kids, we are their advocates, mentors, and coaches. We address conflict in their lives and assist their families with meeting basic needs. We work directly with gang-involved youth to identify their needs, establish goals, and connect them to services. For the community, we coordinate crisis response to violence and work to interrupt acts of violence and retaliation. Street outreach brings all the science and strategy behind the comprehensive gang model to the streets so that we can reduce gang involvement and save lives.
Within the framework of the model, the intervention team is the primary mechanism for delivering intervention services to youth that are heavily involved in gangs. This multidisciplinary team is composed of representatives from law enforcement, probation, social services, schools, employment services, and street outreach. The intervention team's primary role is to create a gang disengagement plan and link youth and their families to needed services. Through a team-based case management approach, coordinated services are matched to the youth based on their specific risk and needs. The team meets regularly to evaluate client case progress, which reinforces the accountability from both the service providers and the youth. This multidisciplinary approach brings partners together to provide intensive intervention services aimed towards reducing gang involvement and making our communities safer.
Entrenched and serious youth gang violence is a complex problem that requires a comprehensive, organized, and well-informed approach. Following the model's implementation steps allows communities to assess their unique circumstances, build community collaboration, and identify the resources and services needed to deliver an effective response. To begin the process, a community must first acknowledge that it has a gang problem. Then, as public attention and political will builds, establish a steering committee made up of a dedicated group of policymakers and community leaders to guide the process. Then, conduct a thorough community-wide gang assessment to fully understand the nature and scope of the problem in the community. This not only dispels misperceptions, but provides a blueprint tailored for each community. Once these initial steps are completed, the steering committee should develop a strategic plan that is designed to address the nature and scope of the gang problem as determined by the gang assessment. Then, define and implement relevant services and activities within the framework of the model's 5 core strategies. And establish a multidisciplinary intervention team to provide unified services to gang-involved youth and their families. Begin early in the process to monitor and evaluate the project's achievements in serving youth and the community in the most effective ways. Don't rely on short funding sources. Plan for long-term sustainability. OJJDP's National Gang Center provides cost-free resources to communities implementing the Comprehensive Gang Model. These resources can be accessed on the National Gang Center's website. Resources include a guide to assessing your community's youth gang problem, which is a blueprint for conducting an in-depth assessment of the gang problem in the community and contains useful tools for the assessment process. Planning for Implementation is a guide to implementing the Comprehensive Gang Model. The Strategic Planning Tool is an internet-accessible tool that provides information about effective and promising programs that address risk factors affecting youth. The tool also provides a database to store and correlate information about resources in communities. For more information, please contact the National Gang Center.